All right. We're back with the GSMC Wrestling Laureate podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. I'm your host, Eric Rodriguez, here every Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Pacific time, 11 p.m. Eastern time, here to talk about everything in terms of professional wrestling on the GSMC Sports Network. So make sure you tune into that. We talk about news from WWE, the AEW, the New Japan Professional Wrestling, to the MLW, the NWA, the GCW. Basically everything in terms of wrestling. If it makes it to the main news headlines, we talk about it here. It's awesome. It's sick. We encourage you to hit us up in the chat. We listen to you guys. 1010% this show, this podcast, this network is absolutely nothing without our beautiful, amazing fans. So make sure you go ahead and hit up that chat. Send in those super chats, those super stickers, because you guys are super awesome. And let's just kind of reflect on what we talked about real quick. We had our WWE Friday Night SmackDown review. We had our WWE Monday Night Raw preview. We talked about AEW All In, being with our analysis, future storylines, future bookings in terms of the winners, the losers, and everything so forth. That we talked about Jey Uso considering being signed to AEW. So, that is very much a concern. If WWE, like Rikishi, his father, said, WWE needs to get it together. And that's something that I've been kind of talking about on my podcast for quite some time. WWE hasn't really been doing much with Jey Uso, with the whole Money in the Bank thing kind of going under, with the, Jey Uso also, losing the match within itself, also not being featured on SummerSlam. I don't think he's had a match on Raw. I think he had one last week. Don't quote me on that. But the 2 weeks prior to that, I don't think he had a match. But obviously WWE, if you want to keep your Yeet Man, you have to do what you got to do. Book him, pay him. Other than that, with Ricochet going, with big names like Becky Lynch on the table, still you can sign. If AEW signs another big star like Jey Uso, WWE's in trouble. WWE could highly be in trouble in terms of the ratings. Obviously, on Monday Night Raw, I don't really see anybody bigger than CM Punk. On Friday Night SmackDown, I don't really see anybody bigger than Randy Orton, Kevin Owens, Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes. Did I say Cody Rhodes? I think I already said Cody Rhodes. See, that's how repetitive it is. Like it's crazy. But I don't know. I feel like AEW, they sign like a big name star like Jey Uso. The sky could be the limit. He can get big top dollar. But I don't know. It's just, it would be kind of interesting to find out what happens moving forward. All right, so we're going to talk about not our Wednesday weekly wrestling news. I don't know why that's there. We're going to talk about Ricochet making his debut into AEW's All In and his future with AEW. All right, so Ricochet he is indeed all elite. His friend Will Ospreay is absolutely excited about the future. Obviously, they've had a bunch of great matches, rated 5 stars by Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer. So we're gonna get that essentially in AEW Dynamite. And I feel like there's a lot of matches. I feel like in terms of WWE, a lot of matches are probably too short, but although they are kind of long, but not like long. AEW kind of knows how to stroke that ego in terms of professional wrestling. The fans, when they're like, you know what, there's a match that's too long, there's a match that's too short. And, they have a lot of matches that last longer than like 10, 15 minutes, and the audience is engaged. It's crazy. But, it's great. It's great. Maybe like WWE might have a way to kind of, do over with the promotions. But in terms of the wrestling matches, I haven't really seen a really great wrestling match, to be honest. So, Carmelo Hayes and Andrade right now, pretty good. What you're seeing right now with what I saw with the LA Knight and Santos Escobar, I thought that was pretty badass. But besides that, Sami Zayn against Braun Breaker. Besides that, there hasn't really been any crazy, like, out of this world, like, oh, let's go ahead and notice these guys for having an amazing match. I feel like the Street Profits taking on the Bloodline for the WWE Tag Team Championships last Friday. I was a good match. I was excited. But tag team matches, you have 2 superstars. But a one-on-one bout, Ricochet, Will Ospreay, Ricochet against, MJF, against Daniel Garcia, against Bryan Danielson. the sky's the limit with this guy you have here, Ricochet. And, WWE dropped the ball. I'm going to be the first to say it. WWE will regret the day they lost Ricochet. Should have signed him, should have made him happy. They should have never, messed up his booking, should have never sold him short. They deflated him, they watered him down. He wasn't the same superstar when he came to WWE. I don't know. It's just crazy. It's just crazy. Will Ospreay had this to say, and he said, and I quote, "I'm excited. I'm really happy for him. Making it to the AEW roster. Obviously, he kind of has to start from the bottom, but Ricochet, he's going to do that really well. He made his debut at AEW All In on Sunday, competing in the All In Casino Battle Royal. Fans went absolutely nuts. You can check it out on social media. I'm sure if you follow AEW, WWE, Ricochet on Instagram, TikTok, or Facebook, you've seen these reels. You've seen these amazing reels that had Ricochet debuting. It's crazy. It was awesome. And he made quite an entrance. Ricochet he's better off in AEW. I got to be honest. He's way better off, has way better, opportunities as opposed to WWE. Don Callis announced a match between Ricochet and Kyle Fletcher. His first ever match taking place on AEW Dynamite this Wednesday. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Ricochet states that more people watch WWE speed matches more than Kyle Fletcher matches. Ouch. That's an ouch toward Kyle Fletcher, but that's also an ouch toward WWE speed. Is that a personal jab at WWE speed by Ricochet? Ricochet maybe might be a little too, maybe a little salty toward me, like, you know what, WWE, you don't want me to perform in 3 minutes? That's messed up. That's messed up. And then Ricochet be like, you know what? Go and look at what WWE speed now. Look at what WWE speed created. Look at all the negative publicity it's been getting within the past couple of months. And Kyle Fletcher is less than that. Like, he's like essentially comparing, Kyle Fletcher to something less than speed, showing that Ricochet has no confidence, has no support in the WWE product speed, which I thought I was the only one. I thought I was the only one who I don't really like WWE speak. I think it's kind of a lost cause. I think you're not really promoting the superstars you want to promote. Three minutes is too less. Uh, you not really storylines, and that's exactly what WWE professional wrestling fans are mostly intrigued on. Is what the storylines ultimately kind of run into. You had a match between Dragon Lee and Ricochet, who started the dawning of the era of WWE speed, and you lost Ricochet. So then you had Dragon Lee, and the match was so fast paced. It was great. The inaugural match was absolutely amazing. But it's not gonna always be like that. Now WWE speed, you kind of have Bronson Reed in there. So now who has the faster squash match? And me as a wrestling fan, I don't want to see that. I want to see these guys. I essentially kind of think that WWE speed compensated for WWE 205 Live. I want to see a match that I would see between Mustafa Ali and Cedric Alexander. I want to see a match that I would see between Mustafa Ali and somebody like Ricochet. And I feel like WWE heavily dropped the ball. Speed absolutely dropped the ball, not signing Ricochet once again. But people believe that although Ricochet is absolutely going to be more utilized and appreciated in AEW, they believe that Ricochet's failing in WWE reflects on him. They said that he couldn't cut a promo to save his life. I I think he did cut pretty good promos, but there's only a big enough promo that you can cut if you're trying to appeal to somebody like WWE Speed. Like we're trying to call out Tommaso Ciampa, and WWE is like, look, like we don't have as much airtime for you like we do like Sami Zayn calling out Braun Breaker, or like you have in AEW Swerve Strickland talking about Bryan Danielson, and it's not the same TV time, and that's just business. Like, hey, what gets the most ratings? And I feel like in terms of Ricochet, they dropped the ball. Oh my god, they heavily dropped the ball. It's kind of crazy. But WWE will hurt because of this whole speed thing. What I was talking about. No, I feel like they essentially created speed for Ricochet to be the champion. That's just me. That's just me. But I don't know. Without Ricochet, WWE speed's not going to work. I'm sorry. I give it about to the end of the year. where they announced like WWE Speed will no longer be hosted on the Twitter/X of the WWE. Instead, we're gonna have them, fight on matches on Raw, which is exactly what 205 Live was, which is exactly what they should have done in the first place. It just kind of sucks that they had to learn their lesson after they lost a top talent like Ricochet, and it's kind of sucks. It kind of sucks. Oh man, but we have a lot in store of Ricochet's future in All Elite Wrestling. Maybe perhaps a feud with Kazuchika Okada, the Elite. What will a lot of these superstars that Ricochet actually has a lot of chemistry with. It's not like these are new guys. It's not like these guys are new, coworkers essentially. This guy has seen these people before in the independent wrestling circuit, huge my professional wrestling and Ring of like these. Ricochet has been everywhere within the WWE. A lot of people kind of don't realize how international Ricochet was before he signed with the mainstream WWE. And it's just kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy. And lastly, what's going to happen with Samantha Irving? A lot of people think that she might jump ship to AEW, but I read reports that she is signed on with WWE. But Lord only knows how long that's going to take, especially with the money Ricochet is going to be making with AEW as opposed to WWE. It's probably night and day. It's night and day. It's a multi-year deal. And Samantha Irving, I don't know if her and Ricochet decide, to part ways. In that case, Samantha Irving, my number is 996. I'm just kidding. No, no, just kidding. Don't want any of that Prince Puma action. No, he kicked my ass. But I think Samantha Irving's going to stay with WWE for the most part. But if she goes to AEW, that's huge. And it's crazy how how an announcer in terms of professional wrestling kind of made her own kind of public relations, kind of community relations adjacent, reach out, kind of group and stuff like that. And that's what I was, I had a segment about Samantha Irving, sending obviously all those pictures and stuff like that. Obviously, kind of, being with her audience and kind of giving them, basically like, sneak peeks or whatever. You essentially, she hit 1 million viewers on social media. There's a point where you have to look out for yourself. And Ricochet, he was done dirty by WWE. He wanted to make WWE work. And it's just like he told his fiance, he was like, hey, honestly, I'm leaving. So make the best of what you can. And now she has a bunch of subscribers, she has a bunch of fans, and not taking anything away from Samantha Irvin because I feel like 1,010%. She is a very, very talented as a ring announcer. And if she made her debut in AEW, it would be all over the market. It'd be so crazy, so cool. But I don't know. So far, there's nothing in terms of Samantha Irving following her man Ricochet. But honestly, anything's possible. Anything's possible. All right, guys. Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning into the GSMC Wrestling Laureate podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. Sorry. Uh, Remember to Superman punch that like and subscribe button to the show. Also follow the show, follow the network for more awesome wrestling content. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter/X, Instagram, and TikTok for more wrestling content, sports content, and whatnot. And like I always say, if I have not made you a wrestling fan by now, we have a whole bunch of other sports podcasters that are killing it. My man Chris Shepard had his first ever live aired show at 12 p.m. Pacific time. One, no, damn it, 3:30 Eastern time. So make sure you check out that if you are keen in terms of fantasy sports. We have my man Kenneth with the GSMC Football Podcast, Manny with the GSMC Chip Shop Football Podcast. We have my man Manny. No, so we have TJ and Jeremy in terms of sports. And we also have my man Amron Soccer Podcast started in 3 minutes. So make sure you stay tuned for that. We have my boy Tommy with the GSMC College Football Podcast. Make sure you tune in to that as well. My man Nelson with the GSMC Podcast, basketball. It's awesome. It's awesome. All these guys share a heavy passion toward any kind of sport they're talking about. Tune into any of these shows, and I guarantee you, give you guys the Eric Rodriguez guarantee that you guys will be hooked within the first 3 seconds. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun, and we listen to our chats. We're not like other podcasts, live stream shows where all we care about is essentially what's gonna the money is. We care about your guys' chat. That's all we care. That's all we care about. Finally, kind of like something that I wanted to talk about, but obviously Monday is our Memorial Monday. Just want to send my thoughts and prayers to Psycho Sid Vicious's family. Obviously, he passed away today at the age of 63. He played a really big role in terms of professional wrestling, especially me growing up with the whole Shawn Michaels becoming the sexy boy, kind of becoming the baby face in terms of professional wrestling. So I'm in WCW. He's been kind of speculated with WWE Hall of Fame within the past, couple of I don't know. I feel like he should have been within the WWE, Hall of Fame. But obviously, Sid Vicious today passes away at the young age of 63. Thoughts and prayers go to Sid, UD's family, and hope you guys, just the audience too, like love each other, hold each other dear. You don't know when the last time last day here on Earth is going to be. So make sure you cherish every moment. Make sure you forgive any burdens. Make sure forgive and forget. Make sure you keep those bridges, keep those ties, friends, family. 1000%. I was a huge Sid Vicious fan growing up. Not talking about the punk rocker, but not that I'm saying that Sid Vicious, the punk rocker, wasn't bad as well. He passed away at 21, which is kind of sad. But 1010%. Thoughts and prayers are with the Sid Vicious family. WWE wrestling fans, they love, respect the legacy that he left inside the ring. He was big. He was bad. He was crazy. But gotta send some love. Gotta send some love. So of course I had a hit on that. Once again, love you guys. 1010%. Stay beautiful. Tune in tomorrow at the same time. On Tuesday, we have our Tuesdays today in wrestling history. But until now, what I always say, love you.